If the Spurs traded for Jimmy Butler, would they now be one of the top teams in the Western Conference?
Go, Spurs, go, 'cause the Giants stink.
What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Maybe some Miami Heat fans stopping in as well. A lot of Jimmy Butler news in since we last talked about him. We briefly talked about him possibly coming to San Antonio, so I wanted to get more in depth in this because I found an article on Pounding the Rock. But my question is, should the Spurs stay away from Jimmy Butler? I'll answer that in a few moments, but let's get into this article. Jimmy Butler's time in Miami will likely end soon. Yes, it will. The talented but high-maintenance wing made his unhappiness with his current situation public and asked to be traded. In response, the Heat have suspended him and are looking to accommodate his request by fielding calls from interested franchises. He does have a player option for next season that reportedly intends to decline to seek a max extension, which, correct me if I'm wrong, would be north of over $50 million a year. 50 million. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done. There have been some sparse rumors about the Spurs being interested in Butler, and it's been reported that he has no list of preferred destinations. So the question is, should the Spurs pursue him? Butler is still a star. His permanent numbers are almost identical to last season's, and he's not too far away from the one that earned him an All-NBA second-team berth 2 years ago. He's also a stout defender, a physical stopper who can guard several positions, and there's plenty of evidence that he raises his game in the playoffs. Playoffs? We need to win some games first. Whereas routinely outplayed more heralded stars. The Spurs are not a contender at this point. We're not. But it's hard to... Oh, wait, where are we? I just lost my spot. The Spurs are not a contender at this point, but with Butler in tow, they should be a playoff team that can make some noise in the postseason. I do agree with that. San Antonio also has the assets to get a deal done. And it's hard to gauge Butler's trade value at this stage of his career, and after another messy breakup with another franchise, but a trade with Demisel as a centerpiece should get it done. There are no open concerns at this point, and we're talking about the salary cap, and paying Butler wouldn't be a huge issue because Victor Wembanyama won't get an extension for a couple more years, and the rest of the cap sheet lacks any albatross contracts. Well, some Spurs fans are going to disagree with that albatross contract. Maybe financially there's no albatross contracts, but I think most Spurs right now will agree Zach Collins' contract is looking really bad after his extension, unless he really steps it up the rest of the season. Let's continue on with the article, Spurs fans. If the Spurs were one piece away from serious contention, reducing the role of their franchise star would be a worthy sacrifice. And I got to say, I like Mitch Johnson. Some of his rotations are a little wonky to me, but the second Denver Nuggets game, our guys were clearly gassed in the fourth quarter and overtime. Probably should use some of the guys off the bench a little more. Wemby clearly looked tired as too. I don't think he scored in the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime. Got to do a little better job managing the minutes. Anyway, would be worthy of sacrifice and getting older as a team a sensible decision. But would Butler make our Spurs a top-tier team able to compete with the league's elite immediately? It does seem unlikely. And then there's the baggage and the potential locker room problems. This is my biggest concern. But will now leave his fourth franchise on bad terms. I'm going to read that again. Butler will now leave his fourth franchise on bad terms. I don't know the whole history of Jimmy Butler. I know some of the issues. I clearly know the issue with the Heat right now. If that's correct, let me know in the comments if it is or not. That is not something you want on your resume. And he hasn't played over 70 games since his time in Chicago. He's clashed with teammates in the past, complained about his role repeatedly, and criticize coaches. And all those factors, and whoever gets Jimmy is getting an aging, high-maintenance star with lots of miles on his body, despite not being particularly durable, who will get paid a third of the cap as he ages out of his prime, and who might decide he's not happy and complain his way out again, as he has multiple times in the past. Pounding the rock, not holding back at all here. Disrupting what has been working both on and off the court to add a past his prime star with a volatile personality and whose primary motivation is to get one last big payday could endanger a rebuild that has been going great so far. And it is, Spurs fans, it is. 22-60 last year. We're going to have 22 wins probably this month. We're doing okay. We're doing good. There are simply too many negative factors to consider. And the titled Pounding the Rock article is pretty much the Spurs should stay away from Jimmy Butler. So let's get into my 2 cents. I asked that at the beginning, should we stay away? If you know me at all, Spurs fans, you know my answer. The answer is yes. He's a diva. He reminds me of like a Terrell Owens, so one of those type of players that's really great and can produce on the field. But man, their personality just, sometimes it ain't worth it. And I don't want his attitude, demeanor, etc. rubbing off on our young guys. Listen, Jimmy Butler is a great player for sure, but I don't think he's a great player we want. For me, seriously, it's a hard no. Just way too many issues, plus his age, plus his salary. No, 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 no. Jimmy Butler, let him go. Okay. Let's finish with this, Spurs fans. I have seen some of you say that you would like to trade for Jimmy Butler. Make the case for him in the comments. Seriously, what do you think that this is the missing piece? And would you trade Devin Vassell and probably some picks for him, or Vassell and a role player? Listen, Vassell's been under a microscope by myself and other NBA analysis, you guys, the live chat, and I get it. I get why I've been critical of him. I mean, not critical, but, well, maybe critical. All right, maybe critical. He's our highest paid player, and he's been very inconsistent this year. At times, we do see just how good he is. That game against Denver, when he drove by his, whoever the defender was and blew by everybody, and I think he had 3 dunks in that game where he just went by everybody and threw it down. I was like, dang. I didn't know you. I mean, we've seen that once in a while, but to see it that many times in one game, or we see those games where he fires off like 6 threes and makes 5 of them, and he just like everything's going in. I'm like, my goodness, what is the ceiling for you? But then the next game he comes out and shoots 4 of 14 and misses 6 threes. And he's just so wildly inconsistent, like a lot of our guys. There's the injuries too. And I think that's the most frustrating thing with Devin, for me at least, is I know how good he can be at times. I'm like, if you could just maintain any level of inconsistency and not keep getting injured, oh my goodness, would you be Wemby's Robin? But right now, you can't be, because you just can't do it every night. And that's frustrating for me, because I know his potential, like a Lonnie Walker. Yeah, for your Spurs fan over a few years, we saw the potential at times with Lonnie. We're like, man, you are so freaking good tonight. And then you disappeared for the next 3 games. Why? I'm not saying you have to turn it on. You know what? No, screw that. You should be turning it on every night. Unleash the Michael Jordan in you, the Kobe Bryant. Where's the desire to win? If you have that type of ability, why don't we see it almost every single night? Yeah, you're going to have your off games. Wemby, as good as he is, has his off games. But, you guys see where I'm going with this. The talent's there, the potential's there, but it's there in flashes. And if he can develop any type of inconsistency, he's going to be amazing for us, but he hasn't done it as of yet. I seriously hope it works out, but I'm a little skeptical at this point. We're in year 5. The injuries, who knows, but he's also still young. So, Devin, I seriously am rooting for you, because I just see how good you can be. So we'll close with this. Nope. And that's all I got there. We'll be live tonight for the Bulls and the Spurs at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is a very winnable game for our guys. Let's get back to that vaunted 2 games over 500, which we just can't really seem to get over that hump. We get 2 games over 500, and right back we lose the next game to be 1 game over 500. So let's win tonight. I think we play Milwaukee Wednesday night on ESPN, so that's going to be a tough game. But I'd like to see let's start 2024 with, keep getting some big wins. Drop a comment down below on anything I went over. I'm always curious about what you guys think, whether you agree or disagree. I love reading your opinions. Hit the thumbs up to support the channel and become an official member and sponsor of TSR Sports. And subscribe to become part of our awesome Spurs community. See you tonight for the Bulls. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs go.